All right, I'm feeling a partial bit destructive and kind of creative at the same time. So I was going to upgrade my shocks on my buggy. As you see there, I pulled off the back end. I was going to upgrade my shocks to use not the stock ones. Those are no good. I just had them there just to show. But these are what I had on here. They're the aluminum heavy-duty shocks that come with the Stampede. They're really nice shocks. They're not bad. But I want it a little more stiff. I want to be kind of a more, I don't know, I guess more stiff of a ride. So I'm going to put on my buggy shocks instead. These are the large bore shocks. They're from an Apache. I'm going to put them on my Stampede. Lengthwise, they're a little longer. As you can see, they're a little longer. So that gives me just a little more wheel travel. So I'm hoping that that'll work well. But one of the problems I find, which is why you have these two pieces here, is the stock pieces are very, very pliable. They bend easy, I find. So you can see they flex. So what I'm doing is I'm going to create a heavy-duty shock tower by merging two broken ones I had together. Now, as you can see here, I've already ground off one side, ground off the other side, so they can both match up perfectly and make a double, which should make it stronger with one long screw going through to access both shock towers, making it a lot stronger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it together. I'm going to give this a try, see if it works. If it works, great. I should have a nice heavy-duty shock tower at no expense because both of these are broken pieces that I held onto. If it doesn't work, well, I have to replace them anyway. I'll go to the store and buy them. So since I'm feeling creative, let's get this started and see what happens. I'm going to screw this all together and then show you what it looks like together. Maybe I can do it on camera. I'm going to use my drill so I can get it done a little quicker, okay? Okay, that's one. Two. I did them from both sides, so that way you have pressure to pull from both sides. So I thought that would be beneficial. 3 and 4 screws. Now, since the towers are identical, I noticed that early on these holes line up perfectly already. So they made a nice level piece without me having to do any kind of fancy measuring and drilling. They were all pre-drilled for me. So now that I have my double wide shock tower, I'm going to go through the process of mounting it on the car, and not knowing if this is going to be easy or not, I'm going to turn off the camera and then show you when it's on there just what it looks like. So here we go. I'm going to pause the camera here on the double wide super strong shock tower and see what happens. I'm just feeling creative. I'll be back. Alright, I just wanted to show you quickly what one tower on. Basically what happens, I'm using a longer screw to go through and grab both, so we should be good there. To help hold the top. As you can see, it holds really well here, still very flexible. We'll see what happens, so on to the next part. Alright, now there it is, just against the chassis, basically replacing the other one. Screwed in just the same way the other one was. I tightened this up a little bit so I can hold it up in place. So now you can see, now I have a double here, double here. Now what I have to find is if I'm going to have to mount the shock on the outside or the inside. That I'm not sure of yet. But once I get a chance, I'll take a look and see which way it goes and then screw it in accordingly. So right now I put them both on the outside to see what happens because traditionally that's where it mounts, is on the outside. Alright, let's get going. Alright, I just want to show you a little bit more of what it looks like. I just put the double together. As you can see, it's there. Then what's going to happen is right through this section here, I'm going to put the support and the screws going to go through here and here, so holding it in two places. Here's one of the things I noticed. Here's a lot of distance, almost 3/4 of an inch to an inch. So what I may have to do is actually come up and instead of use this side of the shock tower, I may have to use this side and see if that works better. So I got to make some adjustments. And then I'll be back to see where it's at, but that's what it looks like on there for now, and let's see what happens. Alright, I just wanted to show you the finished product. There's the double wide shock tower, as you can see there, so there's 1, 2. I did have to put a spacer here using the tension spring from the spur gear, because otherwise if I got it too close, it rubbed the wider shock rubs on the adjusting turnbuckles. So that needed to be adjusted there. Here, I had to recenter the holes that were in there. I noticed that the holes were not centered, so I recentered it, and that was very easy to do because they were off by just a hair. So I just elongated the holes that were there, and that got right in place. The other change you can see is if you look here, you now actually have this support going through one, and then the second shock tower, so that makes it extra strong. There's my longer screw. Same thing is happening on the other side. Everything else seems to be looking real good. Seems solid even without one major support piece. I didn't realize I had cracked the bottom piece, so I have to get a new one of those. I unfortunately don't have any of those, so I'll have to get one of those. Unless I make something tonight, I don't know. But otherwise, I need to get that one piece. I will say one thing from just handling it. The shocks now are much harder to push down, so the vehicle is much stiffer in the back. The front's still, I guess, kind of average, a little tight, but not too bad. So we'll see how it does. It did give me a lot more ground clearance, as you can see. Now I have a lot more ground clearance, probably about maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches, if that. So now it's a little higher, so I can go a little more. Everything looks good. So now it's just a matter of getting it and trying it once I get that bottom support, because I don't want to try it without it. And then get another one of these just in case this does not work. I can just swap them out. So anyway, thanks for following the quick project. Kind of a neat way to strengthen up the bridge, strengthen up the shock tower in the back, and to use some of those old ones that I've destroyed. So it worked out really well. I hope that you enjoy, and next time you have a project, post. We love to learn.